The film stars John C. Reilly as Ralph, Sarah Silverman as Vanellope. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Ralph Breaks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet is a 2018 theatrical release about Vanellope's game getting broken and her and Ralph heading to the internet to try and fix it. It's written by Phil Johnston and Rich Moore, cinematography by Nathan Warner. Supervising animators include Jason Figliozzi, David Hardin, Mark Henn, Robert Christian Huth, Daniel Klug, and Justin Sklar. It's edited by Jeremy Milton and Fabienne Rawley. Music is by Henry Jackman, and it's written by Phil Johnston and Pamela Ribon. The film stars John C. Reilly as Ralph, Sarah Silverman as Vanellope, Gal Gadot as Shank, Jack McBrayer as Felix, Jane Lynch as Calhoun, and Taraji P. Henson as Yes. Before the first one was released, Rich Moore said there were a lot of ideas already for a potential sequel just because they didn't explore online and console gaming or anything like that. And then in 2016 he said it was going to happen, and then Disney announced that the release date would be in 2018. Rich Moore again said the second one would and will and could explore online and console gaming. The original title was Ralph Breaks the Internet Wreck-It Ralph 2, and then they dropped the Wreck-It Ralph 2 in July of 2018. There were two versions of the script before they finally settled on what they ended up going with. One had Vanellope becoming self-absorbed when she got to the internet, and the other one was Ralph becoming internet famous, and then the villain of the story would have been a computer virus. And they scrapped both. They really wanted to focus on Ralph and Vanellope's friendship. That's what made the first one special. So they wanted to focus on their relationship growing and ebbing and flowing and what comes with deepening that bond. And so they wanted the internet to just be the set for that to happen, but still focus on Ralph and Vanellope. Ultimately, that's what they went with. Pamela and Robin ended up being the one with the princess's idea, and it being essential to the plot. Otherwise, the Oh My Disney stuff felt very servicey. But she said, "Let's poke fun at ourselves," and all the directors liked it. She also was the temp voice for Snow White, and everyone who was watching her be the temp voice was like, "Nah, we like it." So she's also the temp voice. She's also the voice of Snow White in this. There were 150 unique sets. There were 5,726 assets. There were 434 individual characters with 6,752 variants. There are a ton of Easter eggs, cameos, you freaking name it, in this movie. I mean, they're on the internet, so there's product placement, even though it's just they wanted the stuff that's in there. There's also dated stuff that's in there now. There's, when they go to Oh My Disney, Disney owns all that stuff. So there's Star Wars, Muppets, all the princesses, random characters everywhere, Toy Story character, there's everything in there. Had a $175 million budget and made $529.3 million in the box office. Has an 88% Rotten Tomatoes consensus. Ralph Breaks the Internet levels up on its predecessor with a funny, heartwarming sequel that expands its colorful universe while focusing on core characters and relationships. It was nominated for Best Animated Feature and did not win. It did receive slight controversy when the first trailer aired, because people came forth and said Tiana and Pocahontas looked lighter than they normally do in their movies. And so Disney immediately contacted the actresses and contacted the advocacy group Color of Change to redesign them and make sure nothing hinky was going on. And thus is what we get in the movie. This is gorgeous, absolutely stunning animation, also really fun and clever. All the way they imagine the internet, just what a great way to frame this. It's very fun. It is beautiful. It's very also have fun to see the different styles, and then it's also really crazy to see princesses before Rapunzel. In a 3D format. It's really crazy to see Ariel and Cinderella and Snow White and Pocahontas and Jasmine and Aurora and all these princesses in a 3D format. It's very fun to see them actualized like that. And it's just a really pretty movie. Feels like it moves. I really, like, by the end of it, I was like, oh, I didn't have a moment where I felt it was too slow or that stuff was taking too long or we didn't need that. I thought everything flowed really well. Very Henry Jackman, especially like this brand of Henry Jackman. I know he's also done like scory things that are very like, well, like orchestra things is really what I should say, that are very different than this, but this is giving Big Hero 6, it's giving, you know, it's of the same vibe. Also, a place called Slaughter Race is one for the books. Alan Menken, bravo. Absolutely insane. Just hilarious. Makes me laugh every time. Genuinely so funny and so good. I really think Disney sometimes is at its best when it's making fun of itself, because if you can't have a sense of humor about yourself, what are we doing? And so genuinely, I think being so ridiculous and giving Vanellope a freaking song called A Place Called Slaughter Race is iconic. A very fun, interesting, believable plot. This is a really, really realistic next step for Ralph and Vanellope's relationship. Because if you think in the first one, he has no friends, he's a villain, and he works to get a friend, and him and Vanellope go through this whole, like, becoming friends, saving each other, you know, moment. The logical next step, I truly do believe, is very believable that the story would take place. Ralph is clinging to that. He's like, I've got a friend, my life is perfect now, like, nothing needs to change. Where Vanellope, who finally got her life back, is like, well, like, I would like to, like, race different places and grow more and whatever, but, like, the fear of hurting her friend, and just, like, it's such a realistic next step. It makes it so believable. It being set on the internet is so fun. It did, like, the risk you run with movies like this is it can date itself, and it did, because Twitter still existed, and some other things, you know. But everything else that was in this is still around. Snapchat, Spotify, Fandango, eBay, you know, all that stuff is still around. ohmydisney.com isn't really still around. It takes you to a Disney News website, which is sad because that was fun. But it's a really fun story. It's really touching to see them try and, like, grow and shift and keep that friendship and understand that just because they're growing doesn't mean they have to grow apart. You can grow together, still be friends, still see each other, just because you don't see each other, like, night and day doing the same thing night and day all the time. You know, it's fine. It's okay. A ton of Easter eggs, like I said. I mean, they even had A113 for Pixar, and this is not a Pixar movie. So, like, they really went deep with the Easter eggs in this. It was very fun. I think if you watch it, you'll see something new every time, because this was the first time I really recognized, like, a lot of the apps. I remember the first time I watched it, like, Amazon and Snapchat and eBay and, you know, YouTube and stuff like that. But, like, this time around, I noticed, like, little icons I didn't notice before, I didn't know before. So I think every time you watch this, you might see something new, and that's really fun, and I love that. But yeah, the story, I mean, it's point A to point B, realistic, touching. We love to see it. This is quite possibly Gal Gadot's best role. I said it, I'm so sorry. Also, yikes to the Colleen Ballinger cameo. That also didn't age well. And then Alan Tudyk as Nosebore. We love him. He was King Candy in the first one. That was the first Disney movie he was in, and he's been in every single one since. So it was fun to have him back as Nosebore in this one. My favorite part would definitely be the princesses scenes. They're my favorite part. I can't. The scene with Vanellope where they're all in comfy clothes. Well, first of all, them meeting her and being like, I captured her enslaved? Blah, 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 blah. I don't even have a mom. Neither do we. Does someone think a big, strong man saves you? Blah, blah, blah. You are a princess or whatever. Like, it's such a good scene. So great. They talk about the singing. So good. And then at the end, a big, strong man who's in need of saving. Like, come on. It's so good. And everyone uses their abilities and everything. Love, 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 love it. I'm obsessed. I'll eat it up because I love the princesses so much. Least favorite part? Maybe when Ralph, like, gets the virus and sets it off. That's really sad because, like, it, you know, copied Vanellope's glitch, which is really sad. That's really sad. But otherwise, I don't really have a least favorite part, like, technical wise, because it was pretty good. Watch again. Yeah, I would watch this again 100%. Recommend, of course. Very fun, as long as you've seen the first one. If you haven't seen the first one, you might be a little bit like, what's going on? So definitely watch the first one before you watch this, but I would definitely recommend it. That's everything I have for Ralph Breaks the Internet. My final rating is gonna be 7. Oh man, it's the internet. I could choose anything. Wow, that's tough. Maybe viruses? 7 giant Ralphs. No, or Ralphzilla, I think is what they started calling him. No, I don't know. Should I do race cars? That feels... I probably did race cars for the first one, right? Or candy necklaces is what I did for the first one? So, I don't know. Let's do race cars, because it's fun. It's a lot of race cars, specifically. Until, no, our total movie count is. Parent death toll and crack count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials and check out my website. You can always find out what our movie count is, the parent death total is, and the crack count is constantly on my website. You can also check out and see what videos coming up next on my website. You can also see what movie I'm watching when on all of my socials. Go check it out. Join Patreon. I got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early. Tiers with that, daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, names in the description of my video, merch, etc. Go check it out. Buy merch. Merch great, merch grand. This is the new design with the new, it's just so good. Please go buy some, okay? Thank you so much. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe. Oh, join the giveaway if you haven't. Go do it. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe. We're not charged for your life. You are. So you do you, and don't be, probably the virus about it. Enough champagne to fill the Nile.